All right, so in this video we're going to be talking about factors and prime factorization. And factors are numbers, we're going to write this down, numbers that are multiplied to form a product are called factors. With factors being one of our words, as well as product. Product is the answer to a multiplication problem. So we have two words here that are possibly new, I don't know. Product, which is the answer to a multiplication problem. And then we have factors, which is what we're talking about today. So when you take two numbers and multiply them together, let's do an example here. So let's just say example 2 times 3 equals 6. Okay, 2 and 3 are your factors, and 6 is your product. So hopefully that clears that up. And we could have more than two factors. We could have 2 times 3 times 5, and then it would be 30. But I'm just showing you here two factors, and then their answer, their product is 6. All right. Prime factorization is when you break a number down. Let's write this down. Prime factorization is when you break a number down to all prime numbers. And whenever I do an example, I think it'll make more sense. And factor trees, you know, this is where they come into play. And you haven't done factor trees probably since 6th grade, but that's okay, because that's what we're working on today, and it'll all come back. And if you are in 6th grade watching this, then this is new for you. Let's just do 20. So let's break down 20. We can do 4 times 5. And I have to ask myself, is either 4 or 5 a prime number? Well, 5 is a prime number, so I'm going to circle it. And prime numbers you can tell because it only has 1 in itself as a product, as a factor. 1 times 5 is 5, and that's the only way to get to 5. But 2 and 2, I can get to 4. So 4 has more options. Anytime that there's more options than just 1 and the number, then you need to break it down further. So 4 is composite and 5 is prime. Once they're prime, we'll circle them. And 2 times 2 is 4. But if I try to break 2 down any further, it's just going to be 2 times 1, which means it's prime. And again here, 2 times 1, I can't do anything more than that. I'm not going to break a number down to 1 times something. That doesn't help me at all. So once I get to the point where I can't break it down any further, I circle it. So this is the prime factorization. 2 times 2 times 5. That's the prime factorization of 20. So that is what it looks like. And we'll do it again. If you would have chosen 2 and 10, because 2 times 10 is 20, it wouldn't matter. 2 is prime, but 10 will break down. 10 breaks down to 5 times 2, and both of those are prime. 2 times 2 times 5. And if you don't know what is prime and what's not, then ask me for a prime number chart, and I'll give you a prime number chart. In fact, it's on the back side of your multiplication chart. It could be, depending on which one you have. But I have a lot of them, so just ask me for them, and I'll give you one. So I'm going to write this one, 2 times 2 times 5 equals 20. And notice it looks exactly the same. So it does not matter what I choose. If I choose 4 times 5, I'm still going to get to the same answer than if I choose 2 times 10. Because prime factorization is always going to be the same answer, no matter how you choose to break it down. Because it's going all the way down to the very end. So you will get to the same answer, no doubt about it. Okay. We also could write this using exponents. I will go ahead and write it, but if you're not to this point yet, depending on what class you're in, don't worry about it. Okay, but if you understand this, great. So 2 times 2 is 2 squared, times 5 equals 20. So you can rewrite both of these to be 2 squared times 5. Alright, so let's keep moving. Let's do another example. Let's break down, it doesn't really matter. How about 24? Let's break down 24. And we'll only do it once this time. So think in your head 2 numbers that multiply to give you 24, and probably said either 4 and 6 or 3 and 8, maybe 2 and 12, but it doesn't matter. I just chose 4 and 6. 4 times 6 is 24. These are both composite because they'll break down further. 6 is 2 times 3, and 4 is 2 times 2. Actually, all of these numbers are prime now. It didn't take us very long to get down to prime factorization. So when I rewrite this, it's 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. And I can always check myself in a calculator just to make sure. 2 times 2 times 2 times 3, and I get 24. So I know I'm right. All right. That's pretty much what we're going to be doing today when it's talking about factors and prime factorization. So let's go ahead and switch over to some examples on an assignment, and you'll just get some more practice that way.